You're watching Wall Street Confidential, our discussion over Lehman Brothers, a hot topic on Wall Street and here on Wall Street Confidential. Welcome, Jim Cramer. Jim, talks are ensuing about this Korean firm, a 25% potential stake in Lehman Brothers. There's a lot of negative news as well about Lehman, both from the housing side and the financial side, which is really Lehman's two properties.
Right.
But the stock is not really budging.
I think that's really the salient point, Farnoosh. When you have a lot of rumors swirling, and you have a lot of bad news. I mean, look at this today. I didn't even know that they had a lot of Inland Empire real estate. They may have some coast real estate, but it doesn't matter. California's a disaster. It's not bottom yet, other than Central. So they may love the real estate that they own, but it's not bottom yet. So you could continue to say that they have to take a charge. Osprey, they had an investment in Osprey. I mean, these are back to back on C-section of the Wall Street Journal. Two horrible articles. Financial Times filled with horrible articles about real estate in Europe. They've got gigantic exposure to that. And yet the stock doesn't come down. And that itself is saying something. And what I think it's saying is that I think they have the potential to have a deal here. I think that they're actually able to negotiate, that things aren't as so dire that the negotiations are causing the stock to go down. We've seen that time and again. The Korean, we were talking earlier, the Korean bank has got someone who used to work at Lehman. That's refreshing. The Korean bank has not point blank denied that they're interested. As a matter of fact, they've come back and said they are interested. If I were Dick Fole, what I'd be trying to do is figuring out whether I am going to go with a Wachovia Bob Steele model, which is we're going to separate into good bank, bad bank, or am I going to do a Merrill Lynch model, which is that we're going to do a gigantic equity offering, at the same time take a charge, offer financing for Lone Star to buy it. And Lone Star's out there, still wants to buy. So I think that what's happening is Fold is trying to craft something that doesn't damage the stock further, and that's why the stock's not going down.
What's interesting is either way, whatever path the company chooses to take, you mentioned in your story on Real Money that the survival instincts for Lehman have really kicked in.
Right. I mean, I had felt that for a long time the company had gotten very complacent, and then when I started seeing that they were going to sell Neuberger and Berman, well, that's why I like Lehman Brothers. I mean, that's a classic sign if you're a trader. When you're selling the good to finance the bad, that's really the end, and that was a terrible. I don't mind if they were able to sell some of it, but if they're getting rid of Neuberger Berman, then the stock goes lower. I don't care; it just goes lower. That is not Bloomberg, which is what Merrill sold. It's not it's more like BlackRock, which is what they didn't sell. So I feel strongly that that Lehman's now on the right path. Now this is also really important though. Cities 19, Bank of America up yesterday. J.P. Morgan creeping back to 40. Morgan Stanley above where we bought it for ActionAlertsPlus.com. We bought JP Morgan right here. Goldman Sachs not going back to 150 despite estimate cut. The atmosphere is getting more benign. The fact that trading in the New York Stock Exchange was the lowest in 6 years this quarter, and the stocks aren't going down, tell me the following, which is that you are making a very difficult bet if you're betting against the financials right here. July 15th, my bottom scenario, I'm sticking to. I still don't hear anyone else talking positively about the financials. I like that.
All right, we're going to end there. We're going to be following Lehman Brothers closely. Thanks very much, Jim Cramer.
You,
this is Wall Street Confidential. Stay tuned.